Hello Taurus, thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West. For supportive oracle cards, Wisdom of the House of Night. On the back here above the barcode is who created it. If you look them up on Amazon though, you'll easily find them. Alright, Taurus, what do we have for Taurus? Let's move these out of the way. Is it going to come out this way? Because it looks really good so far. That one card. Okay. I like this for you so far, but let's see where it really goes before we go too far. Alright, so what do we have coming in here? The listening card face down is creating the situation. I feel like somebody knows what you want from them. You've put out the message. It could be vice versa. Maybe somebody else has put out the message what they want, and maybe you're fulfilling that need. One of the two, either you put out the information and somebody heard it and you don't realize it, or vice versa. Because that's why the whole situation is starting. Somebody put out the information, the other person heard it, they're not acknowledging that they heard it, but it's connecting in that way. Now, you got cycles coming in with the Two of Swords. You're very careful about going forward. And when you got involved in this situation, you knew it was like an upswing. You knew what you were getting involved with, but you kind of let it slowly start. You're expecting it to kind of build energy, then kind of move on. You're not expecting anything permanent from this, is what I'm also getting. The other energy I'm getting here is loyalty and beauty in the environment. I'm getting like this is something where you're seeing where this is going. Loyalty and beauty is telling me you're seeing it for what it is. You're not expecting it to stay. It's going to start slow, build up, kind of crescendo, then kind of go on its own. When I'm getting cycles is like you're not expecting this to permanently get going and stay. But the Two of Swords is telling me you're thinking about it. Even though the Two of Swords is usually an inaction card, like you're not moving on it, you're seeing it kind of start on its own. You're kind of like, it's almost like you're seeing the message in your paper, like the local paper, you're seeing the message, help wanted, and you're like, this is the literal beginning. You may not be literally going to apply for that job, but you're like, it's already starting to seep in and you're already kind of thinking about what that needs to do. Even though you weren't physically stepping forward, that was the beginning of the cycle is what I'm getting. All right, so you move forward to the situation. You got differences. You're approaching this with differences. This is good. You're acknowledging how you feel about it and what it means to you, realizing the other person does not see it the same way, but knowing that, addressing the difference right off the bat, this is why you're in more of a power position. Because you're like, no, I know that they look at this differently than I do. I know that this isn't the same for me as it is for them. But that's okay because you're addressing it right off the bat. You internally are addressing it. I don't see a conversation really happening. You're just seeing what they are for who they are. You're knowing you feel different. This helps you balance the whole situation out. I do feel like there's a good balance here between you and them because of where you're standing. The High Priestess of Spirit and the Sun card are coming in the environment. You being a part of this, somebody is very happy that you're a part of it because they know that you're very dedicated. They know that you can get very committed to something, and they're counting on that. I really feel like differences are being let go. I see the Two of Pentacles here with you kind of working with this energy. It's, again, I don't feel like a direct, like, this is how I do things, that's how you do things. I don't see that type of conversation here. I feel this is more like, I will do this and this. Do you want that? Will that work for you? You're not dealing with, like, I do this well, I know you do that differently. I'm not seeing that type of conversation. I feel like it's more like you're choosing what to take on based on what you understand from this other person or situation. I hope that makes sense, because I don't see you dickering it out. I don't see you like saying, I'm good at this, you're good at that. I don't see that. I see you choosing based on what you know of the person. I'll take on this because I know you'll drop it. One of those things. I'll take this egg and take it across the room because I know you'll drop it. So I'll just do it myself. You, on the other hand, can take this 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 jug of milk over there, because even if you drop it, hopefully it won't break. So you do that. One of those things. Like I'll let you do that because that should be able to weather your whimsy a little better. This is continuing forward. I feel like, again, because you saw it for what it was, you're very happy. You took on the parts of the situation that required a little bit more dedication because you knew you'd stick with it. You knew these certain situations, they had to have a higher level of focus, a higher level of dedication. It had to be kept under wraps. You had to keep under control certain things. So you chose these things, and these things are working out because of that. I don't know how this sounds, but I feel like the other energy would not have been as attentive to it, and this is why it worked out. You chose purposely for that reason. It's working out. Now, I'm getting here, the other side seems to be realizing the success of it because of the way you're handling it, because of how you're attentive, very attentive to the situation. I'm seeing they're understanding the success because of that. They want to emulate that. They're hoping they can do the same. The wishing here with them is kind of like they want to be the one in control now. They want to be the one. They want to handle what you're handling. They want to prove that they can do it too. I'm kind of getting that things are kind of shifting here. When I'm seeing the summon card, I feel like things are shifting between the two of you. Or there might be more than, well, whoever you're dealing with. You're kind of trading off responsibilities. There's something they're doing that's kind of lacking, is what I'm getting. I don't know how that sounds, but I really feel like there's something lacking on this other side. So you're trading something, you're trying to be careful about how much you trade, because you're like, I'll take on that to bring that up to speed, and I'll hand this over to them, because the plan's already there. They should already know how to handle that. And I have already proven that you need to be attentive with it if you expect it to succeed. So you're moving that over there, and you're trading a little bit, you're working with it. So you're trading things off. Within, but the thing is, this is, okay, I get this. You're trading it off, but you're not completely letting go. And I feel like that's the kicker. Because you're keeping an eye on things. And you're like, all right, I'll take on this. I'll give them that, but I'm going to keep an eye and make sure they're doing it right. I really feel like that's what you're doing. Because you have the High Priestess of Earth there. You're like, yeah, I'll let you do that, but I'm going to keep my eye on it to make sure you don't screw it up. However that sounds. Not like you're trying to be malicious. It's not like that. But it's just kind of like, yeah, the reason I chose that is because I don't think you're going to keep your eye on it like you should. So I'll let you do it now, but I'm also going to keep my eye on it because I'm not really confident that this other person will do it the way they're supposed to. Now, there's conflict with this, but there's a lot of caring with this at the same time. You're going to communicate when necessary, because I feel like it's gonna start slipping through the cracks. You got fragment here in the actual environment. And I feel like you're going to keep this person in line, literally. You're going to keep them up to speed. You're going to send them messages like, hey, keep your eye on the ball, buddy. Keep your eye on the ball. Keep it going. And there's there's some conflict here. The Five of Swords, in traditional decks, it's like the Fruitless Wind. In this deck, it seems to come across like the Five of Wands, like there's controversy and conflict. You're going to have to feel it out. You might end up standing your ground and being like a little bit more dictatorial on it. Like, no. You got to make sure everything is put in line the way it should be, or else you're going to fall. So we got to keep it in line. You're policing the situation. That's the best way I could say. Like, you're not going to say something if you don't need to, but if it starts to fall out of line, you're going to call it out on what it is, because it has to work out correctly. And it's going to start falling apart in certain places, and you're going to call it out for what it is. This other person's going to get the message. I'm literally getting like, it's almost like this person might be trying to avoid you, but it will not be able to, because you will find them, or you'll send somebody else to find them and tell them what they need to do. The situation will keep going. I feel like it's going to go one of two ways at this point. Either they're going to get up to par because they realize you're watching them and making sure it works out, or they're going to give it back to you. One of the two. I'm going to spit my tongue there too. They aren't going to want to give it back to you. They're going to give it back to you because they realize that you're not going to let it go. But you're not going to let it go because you're not going to let the situation fail. So, it still works out. I feel like what they're saying here, the whole purpose of this is to say that the way you're handling this is good. You're giving somebody the opportunity to learn how to do something. You're showing them about how dedication works in your life and why in certain situations you got to be very attentive and diligent to make success happen. I feel like success is around you anyway. So, and this is a key to like when this goes correctly, when people uphold their responsibilities, this is why success is attained, and you're showing that to this person. Whether they can keep up with that and actually hold to that standard themselves is here or there, but you're proving that this is why you get success. This is what works for you. This is how you attain that success. So you're kind of showing somebody like your secret to success. Whether they can do it or not is a whole nother story. I feel like this is good. I feel like what they're saying is this is good that you're doing this. This is very good. This is good for you and for them. You're working things out. They're saying this is worth it. I feel like that's the whole message here. Like this is very well worth it. The way you're handling it and keeping an eye on it, it's warranted. So there's nothing to feel bad. Some of you might feel guilty about keeping your eye on a situation and policing it a little bit, but they're saying, no, this is what's needed for this to continue with success. So, and the other person's going to learn, and nothing's going to fall through the cracks because of it. So that's what you got. All right. I'm going to wrap this up here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.